I'm here with the latest updates from We Share Abundance. We Share Abundance is a cloud nation. We are the United States of the world, and we're on a mission to banish poverty. And we should be streaming live in YouTube, Twitch, and in our Facebook group, We Share Abundance Publicly. And top of the comments list, once again, is Luis Monteiro from Lisbon in Portugal. And he's got an unfair advantage because you can get into the comments in YouTube before the comments in Facebook. So where we get most of the comments is in Facebook, and I'm heading over there now because if anything goes wrong, it's usually in the link between our app and Facebook. So I'm in Facebook. I'm going to be looking for the public group, We Share Abundance Publicly. And when I get there, I'm going to be looking for, let me turn my speakers off before we get there so that we don't get any feedback. And I'm going to be looking for the 15th of March. We're halfway through March. Almost, I suppose it's 15 and a half days. But here we are, 15th of March. So far, so good. I'm going to click to expand, and we should have the comment up there. I've got Norman Firth in from Doncaster, UK, who is second only to Lewis from Portugal. We will be getting started in a few moments, and we'll be getting started with a short prayer, followed by another Portugal member in, Peter Stotesbury from Portugal as well. A short prayer and a little affirmation. The prayer is there to help us find true happiness. Happiness can't be bought. It doesn't matter how much money you've got, you won't necessarily be happy. No matter how little money you've got, you won't necessarily be happy either. Happiness is the result of loving service to others, true lasting happiness that cannot be taken away from you. That's the only way to acquire it. You'll get momentary pleasure if you have the cash to buy the car you always wanted, or the house, or the cruise, the vacations, whatever they may be that you have on your to-do list, or things that you would love to be able to do. But that pleasure will be limited in time. You'll always be wanting more and more and more until you find that true happiness within, and with that will come a certain contentment, and everything that you want will just flow to you automatically. If you try chasing money to buy the things that you want, that you think will bring you happiness, it's a very difficult path. Very few people are good at chasing money. The ones that are usually accumulate vast fortunes, but they're not necessarily happy. So I've got a thing up here, member in Peter Stokesbury. I don't know what that came up, flashed on my screen. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, we've got Kingsley in as well from Manchester, UK. But if you follow the route of being of loving service to others, you'll not only find that happiness, but everything that you want will flow to you, and it's a much more satisfying and easier and simpler route to having everything you want and need in life. So we have a very short prayer that helps us with that. And then the affirmation is because we are a cloud nation, we are the United States of the world, and we love to have members from every continent, every country. We do have members from all continents, most countries, and anybody can join. There is no fee to join. In fact, we'll give you $5 just for proving you're a real person and completing your profile. And we've been around for a little bit short of 3 years. We're an emerging nation. We've been putting in the foundation and we're building those on solid rock. And they're in place now. And we're now building our economy through different businesses, um, through different ways that we can generate income. The same as any country, you know. The Arab states is a classic example. They had rich oil reserves and they uh, became very wealthy nations by mining those oil reserves and selling them to other countries. Those oil reserves are not going to last unlimited time, and countries like Dubai recognize that. They've used the funds to get into other income producing activities, largely tourism and tax haven uh, type operations. And we are in a position now where we're starting to generate income. And the more income we generate, the wealthier a nation we will become, the more value our currency will have, the more liquidity our currency will have, and that will benefit all our members. So, as I say, we welcome members from every continent, country, every colour, every gender, every uh, class, every creed, every educational level, every financial status. None of those superficial things matter to it. It doesn't matter whether you're fat or thin, old or young, um, whatever. We only see people as human beings created in the image of God and all unique, and so have something unique to offer our community. So every member is of equal value to every other member, and so should be treated equally and with love and respect. And they are. Okay? So we have a little affirmation to help us with that non-separatist ideology. We don't put people in pigeonholes. We just say everybody is part of our family, part of the family of humanity. And I see we've got Richard in as well from Devon, which is not far away from me. I'm in Cornwall. We're both in the southwest peninsula of England. Right. So, as I said, we will get started now with that short prayer, and we'll follow that with a little affirmation, and then I'll give you all the updates and answer any questions. Dear Heavenly Father, we are so happy and grateful for you, and we ask that you bless the We Share Abundance community, that it may fill each member's heart with unconditional love, and that through that love, each member may find the joy of service. And through service, bless each member that they attract true happiness and everything they want and need into their life. Amen. And the little affirmation we have is we are so happy and grateful to be citizens of the United States of the world with God and truth as our leaders. Heavenly Father, may thy kingdom of peace come into our world as it is in heaven, free us all from divisive inharmony, that we may become perfect citizens in body, mind, and soul of thy world. Okay, right. First and foremost, one of the main reasons that we have these um, daily updates is because it would be impossible for me to answer everybody's queries on a one-to-one basis. And I also have this belief that what I do for one, I must do for all. So if I'm dealing one-on-one with somebody, I should be dealing one-on-one with everybody. With almost 40,000 members, it would be impossible. There isn't the time available. Even if I was to do it with 5 or 6 members, it takes a lot of time out, and I don't have time to spare on that sort of situation, explaining things. That's why we have a support desk. That's why we have these live events where people can come back and answer questions that are here, and I can give you the updates and let you have the information. So, for example, if you have joined the stable stake program that we've just started, it's not even yet in your dashboard in your back office. It needs programming. It will be there not this week now, but probably sometime next week. Until it gets in there, you won't see anything for it. But I don't have time to tell people, yeah, I confirm that we have received your money and we've got your form and everything will show in the near future. You've got to just be patient. If you've paid, you've got a receipt, and you should know that that will all be there. And when we actually put the display in the back office, you'll be able to see your position. And if you've paid and your position isn't there, then you can put in a support ticket and we'll sort it out. But that is unlikely to happen. If you've paid and you put in a form, you will be there. It will show up in your back office. So there's no purpose in asking what's going on. I covered it yesterday in a similar situation. We have a lot of people that pulled together to get into Vortic 10K Club. All pooling together, we managed to get over $10,000 to get the best interest rates. And we have people in at everything from $10 upwards. A lot of people, a lot with just $10, you know. I'm not knocking that. We did it at that rate so that it would help people that could only afford $10 because to get into Vortic is $50 and to get in at the level we're at is $10,000. And if you can't manage the $50, in no way you're going to get to the $10,000 very easily, is it? So we said, okay, everybody, let's pull together. We can help people. But I don't have the time to explain where we are with that. Vortic is paying out. If you've got your own account in Vortic, which a lot of our members have, in addition to that 10K club, some of them are in just on their own rather than the 10K club. You know that Vortic is paying every weekday, and you know that at the end of every week, it puts the money into the wallet. And if you watch the video, you'll know that our philosophy is to compound that. And at the end of, I think, 32 weeks from memory, it might be 30, 32, 34. I've not had time to check up on the actual number, but it's around that number. You know that we will position to make the first disbursements from that 10K Club fund, and we will still continue to compound the income until everybody has 5 times their stake back, at which time everybody will be able to run their own account. Um, so please don't send emails or support tickets asking for exactly how much is my $10 worth now, or my $50, or my $20, or whatever it is you put in. We just don't have time to calculate it all out in that way. Just watch the video and say, okay, I know what's going to happen. We're going to be reinvesting, and then this week we're going to get our initial stake back. So that is why we have these meetings. We've got a couple more people in. We've got Akpomade in from Nigeria. We've got Deborah in from Southern Alabama, USA. We've got Cowdley from Hello Graham. Please, is there any challenge in the secondary staking or stable staking? Any challenge? Someone said some time ago that their deposit has not arrived in their account. I'm interested in these two opportunities. I don't want to experience such difficulty. As far as I'm aware, there is no challenge. I can't think of anybody that has their deposit has not arrived in their account. There was only one occasion that I can think of with that. There was one of our members who made 2 deposits within a short space of time. I can't remember the value of the deposits. I can't even remember if they were the same amount. I think they were the same amount, but it doesn't matter. He made 2 deposits, and only one of them got recorded. And he put in a ticket, which is the right way to go about things. If it doesn't show up, why isn't it there? Put in a support ticket saying, yeah, I made 2 payments. This one's been recorded, this one hasn't. And we can act on that, and we can look at it. And we did, and we put it right. And we also fixed that there was apparently some bug. I don't know what the bug was, but Deviani fixed the bug as well. But as far as I'm aware, that is the only time that anything has happened. There'll be no problem at all with purchases done through your dashboard in the back office there. For either of those. Well, no, stable stake, you can't do it through the dashboard at the moment because it's not been programmed yet. So once again, stable stake, you pay your money, you fill a form in. Those forms will be downloaded onto a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet will be uploaded into the dashboard once the programming is done. But for secondary staking, it's automated, and there should be no problem with it. So that's the position on that. I hope that answers your question. We've not got to it yet because we had other little tasks that are proving to be big tasks that we'd started, and we need to just get them out of the way. And the one we're currently working on, or Devian particularly, is the pay it forward features for. Let me find the update from her. Yeah, mainly for placing orders for Poverty Crusher plans. She says it's quite time consuming as we have multiple payment methods to implement. Should be able to complete this tomorrow. And then we have the possibility of adding pay it forward for secondary staking, and then we'll be getting on to the development for the stable stake, which is new. And then that will show up in your back office. And once it's in your back office, we can also add that to the pay it forward if you want to pay for somebody else. My advice is not to pay for people that you don't know and you don't want to make a donation to, if you like, a gift. But it's fine if you want to pay it forward into a stable stake or secondary stake for your wife or your children or your dad or whatever. But don't try and build your business through paying it forward. One way that you can enhance your own income by paying it forward is if you are, for example, in secondary staking, and let's suppose you've got into secondary staking and your monthly payments are $50 a month. It might be 5, it might be 500, I don't know. But let's suppose that they're $50 a month. What you can do then, once we get the pay it forward for the Poverty Crusher plan, is you could offer to pay 5 new members into Poverty Crusher, buy them an ad pack each, which is $5 each, would cost you $25. But if you did 5 people in a month in Poverty Crusher, just at that $5 level, you would automatically get the Power of One bonus. Well, it would double your income from secondary staking. So instead of getting $50, you get $100. That's $50 more. It's cost you $25. So you made a $25 profit you've also put 5 people into your network. Now, when you pay it forward for people, the chances are they're not going to do anything. But if you put 5 people in every month, you're going to find somebody that will say, okay, I like this plan, I'm going to run with it. And maybe you need to pay in, you know, 5 people a month for 6 months before you hit on somebody. Because when you pay it forward for people, generally speaking, they don't do anything. It's cost them nothing. They just regard it as a freebie. They may forget all about it, or they may just watch and wait and complain if it doesn't happen quickly for them, even though they've not paid anything. You know, that tends to be what happens. But if you pay it forward for enough people, you will hit on some people who will say, "Yeah, I like this. I'm going to give it a go." And all of a sudden, you've got a network that is building solidly. But you're doing it out of profit because you're doubling your income in your secondary staking plan. Don't get caught up in putting your hand in your pocket and in the hope that you're going to hit somebody, because it's going to be very expensive for you. Um, and you may or may not find somebody that will uh, do something. So it's there. People have asked for the pay it forward, but if it's like for your spouse or your uncle, your auntie, somebody, your best friend, whatever, and you're doing it just as a gift, maybe even as a birthday gift, an Easter present, or just a gift because you love them. That's fine. You're not expecting anything back from it, and they've got something of value, and you can use it that way. But to build a business, it's not a good way to build a business, in all honesty. Okay, right. But that's what we're working on. We're working on it because uh, our members ask for it, so we try and deliver. So that's where Debian is up to. We had another meeting today with the people on for the game side, just clearing up a few things and getting Deviani also involved because she understands the technical side of things and the programming and the development and any questions that come up on that, which I can't answer. All I can do is say, look, this is what I want. I don't care how you do it. This is what we need. And having worked with Deviani for a number of years, she understands what I need when I tell people what I need. A lot of people don't. I know that sounds crazy, but they don't. Particularly programmers, they have their own ideas about what should be done, rather than saying, "Okay, I understand what he wants. We can do it this way." They say, "Okay, yeah, we've done lots of this before. Boom, this is," and you end up with something that is totally different to what you wanted. So getting Deviani involved, we've worked together. She understands me. She knows when I say I want this, 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 and this. She looks at it and she says, "Okay, I understand what you want, but this is a problem, or this is a situation where we can go 2 ways, or whatever." And so we've been able to, through that relationship, develop a system that works for us, where she understands what I want. She tells me how it can be done, if there are any problems, and she clarifies things, saying, is it this? Because this is what I've got the idea of. And so, or I don't understand fully this point. Is it that or that or that? And we get to a clarification. It's very difficult to get that relationship with developers. I've been using developers for over 20 years, and very few of them are capable of understanding what I want when I tell them what I want, even though I try and make it as clear as so. With Deviani involved in that, she can make sure that the transfer of information is correct, because it's no good as getting started on something that is leading down the wrong road. Okay, we want to be down the right path. um, from day one. So we had another meeting on that, and we're waiting now for them to put together their proposals, which we will then need to look at. We have other irons in the fire. We have other people we're talking to as well. This one particular group seems to be the best option. We'll have to wait and see what the pricing is and various other things, but um, it's progressing nicely. Um, I've not heard from Caleb yet. Um, they're working on things. I know we did hear from them yesterday because there was a problem with the domain name we had registered. It was removed from the Cloudflare system, whatever. And we've got that rectified. But that goes to a funnel builder. There are only certain ones that he'll work with because he knows them inside out and his system and his people. So that goes to the funnel builder. The autoresponder is linked into that. And once again, it's autoresponders that they used to working with, so we have to open an account in there. But it's all coming together. It's just taking longer than I expected. But we'll get there, and the quicker we get there, the better. But it's taken us 3 years to get where we are now. I don't suppose a week or two is going to make much difference in the long term because we're here for generations. We're not here for a week or 2 weeks or 2 months. Or most websites, business opportunities that start up don't last for 3 months. Hardly any last well, a lot less last for a year. Hardly any last for 3 years. 3 years, you've got probably less than 5% of the startups that are still around. We're just approaching 3 years now, and we are in a really good, strong position to be building and moving forward. And this year is going to be a very good year for us. I've been making money online since 1998, and over that period of time, I get people that recommend sites, pitch me on sites and things. I save them in a file. I don't do anything with them because I don't have the time, but I put their domains into a file, the link to get to them. And then every year, every whenever I have a bit of time, I say, I wonder what's left of this, and I get that folder out, and I click on all the links. And, there might be a couple of hundred links in there, and I might find one or two that are still around. So it's not just hearsay that when people say these things don't last. I know they don't last because of what I've seen over that 20 odd years. What was it, 1990? Yeah, it's 25 years, isn't it, this year? Although I've not made much money in the last 5 years because I've been concentrating on trying to get everybody in a situation where we can help them make a little bit of money. We've had our ups and downs, and we've got people that are dissatisfied, and I apologise to them. And I can understand them being unhappy, but we've never run away from things. We've never shirked our responsibility. We are on that mission to manage poverty. We've always worked towards that mission, and we will get there. And this year is going to be a breakthrough year. And the people that have kept the faith with us will, by the end of this year, be happy. I know that. Okay. So that's where we are. That's answered the questions that we have here, and let me now go to the Melon app and see if we've got other people in here from YouTube or or from Twitch. Lewis was in very early, as he usually is on YouTube from Portugal. He's top of the comments list again. As I say, you've got a bit of an unfair advantage because you can get in the comments in YouTube before we actually go live. And so you can't beat him by getting into the comments in Facebook. We've got Wahid Balak from somewhere just saying hi. He's on YouTube as well. But there are no questions there. So that pretty much covers the news anyway. There is one other item of news. We have, or we did have in our multiple income streams, an opportunity called mining one Bitcoin. But we found that there were issues with it, let's put it that way, particularly if you put in larger amounts of money without getting paid. And we were in at the gold level, and we had the same experience as it was Richard, actually, who put in more money, had gone in at a higher level still. The gold level we put in, I think you have to put in $350 minimum to get in the gold level. So that's what we did. We did the minimum for the gold level. And that officially is supposed to double your money in 30 days, which is really good. Remember, they recommended this site, and you'd been paid without any trouble for over 12 months. And although it was a site that we would perhaps not have got into because of that recommendation, we did. What he didn't say is that he never got into any plans above the two lowest ones, the free plan and the starter plan, or whatever they're called. And we were in a plan a couple of steps up from that. And Richard was in a plan at least one or two steps up above that as well. And then Richard's withdrawals started going into pending and not being paid. And he was then told eventually that he had to deposit more money to get paid on the money that he'd already deposited, which is a typical scam tactic. So we weren't happy with that. And I think it was the day after his funds started going into the pending situation, our payment didn't get through either. It went into pending. And I've got a site here which goes through this because I didn't remove it. It's on my blog, but I changed it to use extreme caution with anything other than starter or light contract. And I mentioned that our withdrawal of Bitcoin 0.00110661 requested on the 8th of March has not been paid and is showing as pending. Beware. Richard, we put the note in about his. We know that the member reported that his withdrawal on March the 7th, so it was the day before, is showing as pending, although my withdrawals every day have gone through quickly as usual. That needs changing because we got that one day where it didn't. But every other day since then, for whatever reason, we have been getting paid. And so far now, we started on the 28th of February, really, realistically. We put $47 on the 26th and then 350 for the gold on the 28th of February. And then we've been paid out every day except that one day, which was the 8th of March. And we now have received $393.22. So we're only $3.78 out of pocket at this moment in time. And if we get another payment today, fingers crossed, we will move into a small profit. I don't know whether Richard's had any success in trying to withdraw smaller amounts, because that's what I recommended. or whether they just continuing to put them into pending for him, I don't know. But certainly we're withdrawing relatively small amounts. The biggest we've ever done was about $28, I think, and that they are going through uh, quickly and efficiently, as they always have, apart from that one request from the 8th of March, that is still showing us pending. I don't know what will ever happen to that. I've not chased it up because I don't want to upset the apple cart. I want to get as much out of them as I can. Would I reinvest? I don't think I would, no, not at any level, even though starter contracts and light contracts appear to be okay. I think I would rather leave them alone. But the reason I've left the blog post up there is if you've got somebody who can only manage $10 or $12, this is a plan that you can get into on that starter contract. You won't make a fortune overnight. You don't make a fortune overnight with any of these plans, but it will grow your income. And there is limited, very limited risk from what I understand at those levels. It's the higher levels where the risk is involved. So we'll just take it as it comes and we'll see. But at the moment, if we get another, if we get $4 out, we'll be in profit 22 cents. So at one time, I was expecting that we were going to lose over $350. So I'm much happier with our situation now because um, it's we share abundance money. It's not my money. It's your that I put in there from Beyond Infinity, actually, which is another plan we have. We're still offering the same deal on Beyond Infinity. If you want to get into Beyond Infinity, pay $50, give you a $35 rebate, so it'll only cost you $15. If you don't have $50, but you've got 15, you can send us the $15, and we'll pay the 50 for you. Either way, it gets you into Beyond Infinity. If you're totally passive, you just got to be totally patient as well, because it's going to take you over 5 years and 12 weeks waiting before 5 years and 13 weeks you get your first payment. But once they start coming in, this totally passive income, once those payments start coming in, they will drop every week. And when they say drop, they will drop into your cash wallet every week. They will, in fact, go up every week as well. They will increase in value. You'll get a pay rise every week. And by the time you hit something like the end of 6 years, getting on for 7 years, I think your income is something like 20 grand a week. So for a one-time $15, it's a good bet, okay? Because everything in business is a bet. You're betting on yourself. You're betting on your judgment. You're betting on um, all sorts of things. But the risk to reward factor for a $15 payment one time with a bit of patience is good. Are they going to be around in 5 years? I don't know. If they beat 3 years, the chances are, yeah. If they don't get to 3 years, they're going to be like most of the websites. We don't know. It's $15 at risk. Okay. If you choose to share Beyond Infinity, you can generate generous commissions, and you can use those commissions to drastically shorten that time span. We have two accounts because we piggyback one on the other in Beyond Infinity, and they are both now down to, well, one's down to about 7 months from now. It should start getting payment. It might be a little bit less actually, and the other one about 9 months. And that has been done by using some of our commissions that have been surplus to requirements for paying in people, giving those $35 rebates, and you can drastically shorten that time. You don't need a lot of money to bring it down by a year. You only need about $35 or something uh, in commissions that you can invest to shorten that 5 years to 4 years. About $130 shortens that 5 years to 3 years. To shorten it beyond there, the amounts go up. And if you look at the spreadsheet, there's a spreadsheet available to you on the page in my blog. Then you'll see how and why. Okay, but certainly to drop that to 3 years rather than 5 years, you don't need a lot of cash going in. Only about $130, $140 to wipe a couple of years off your waiting time. What else have we got? Um, let me just check here again. I don't see anything further in Facebook. I don't know whether it's frozen up. Let's see Melon app. If we've got anything there. No, looks like that's it. Looks like we've covered everything. I do have numbers for you. I usually forget to give them to you. They're not very meaningful at the moment because it's very quiet. The first couple of weeks of the month is always quiet anyway. It picks up a little bit from here to the end, but not drastically at this moment in time. I'm looking forward to seeing the change when we get that marketing campaign running for the Turnkey Cash Cow members. But in the last 24 hours, we had a net decrease of 1 in our registered members to 38,814. Net decrease because we take out people that haven't logged in for 2 months, we get new registrations, and it's how they balance out. Sometimes it's a plus, sometimes it's a minus, sometimes it's dead level. Very rarely, but sometimes it is. Okay, but it was down by 1 in the last 24 hours. Our active members, these are people that are logging in regularly, is up by 7 to 4,090. Multiply Weezer, sister site, no real change there, no real change in the members, the registered members, the number of members that have bought advertising, and the bonus pool did go up a little bit, but it's not enough to move it into the next dollar. It's standing still at $10,089.90. And that goes up just by logging in from the revenue share that you get in there. And that pretty much covers it. I should be in profit with mining 1 Bitcoin, but the dirty dogs are withholding my money. I've received just one payment of about $22. The remainder is pending. I tried withdrawals at all levels. Full disclosure from the person recommending this would have been appreciated. I agree with you about the disclosure from the member that recommended it. And I'm sorry that you got caught in that and you've only been able to get $22 out. We are fortunate in that we are, as I say, in the We Share Abundance account, close to breaking even. We'll have to see if we can get another payment out today. If we do, it will put us into a tiny profit. If we do get into profit on it, Richard, I don't see any reason why we can't give you that profit to offset some of your losses. But we'll see how things go. But certainly don't get involved in mining 1 Bitcoin at anything other than those 2 levels. But if you've only got like $10 and you want to get involved in something, it may possibly be an option for you. But that's it from me. Until tomorrow, I'll be here as always, same place, 7 p.m. London time, on YouTube, Twitch, and in our Facebook group. We share abundance publicly. On the sporting scene, news is the football team that I sort of support. I've supported them for well over 50 years. Manchester City had a good win in whatever they call the competition now, the European Cup, whatever it is, yesterday. But it doesn't really make up for the whitewash that our cricket team suffered against Bangladesh. Congratulations to Bangladesh, or the actual drubbing we got from France in the Six Nations. England need to come back very strong against Ireland. I don't think they'll win, but at least if they can make it a contest instead of a good hiding, I think most supporters of the England team will be satisfied. Um, let's make it a contest. Okay. With that said, as I say, I'm here 7 p.m. London time, on YouTube, Twitter, and our Facebook group. We share abundance publicly. Until tomorrow, be we some warriors. Get out there, share some love and abundance, give away some of those soap coupons, help people understand how to use them, what they can benefit from them. Go the extra mile. Put value into the service that you're offering to people. You will find so much gratitude from them. You will find so much happiness inside from doing that. And you'll find that all those other things that you wanted will really start manifesting in your life. So get out there and do it. Be we the warriors. Until then, free to say, I'll see you later, alligator, in a wild crocodile. See you later, alligator. Always wear a smile. See you later. See you later, alligator. Whoa.